Tap, 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 tap in. I mean, she's cute. I'm going to just say it in no stretch of the imagination. Could I imagine a woman along the lines of her looks being with a rich and successful man outside the black community? Talk about she need a Birkin bag.
My rap artist Saweetie has recently been accused of being a yachter, doing paid and arranged relationships.
We have some more insight into the yachting industry, this time thanks to a disgruntled madame. A woman known as Maybach May on Instagram expressed her frustration with rapper Saweetie on her Instagram stories. She claimed that Saweetie owed her money for activities that she organised on Saweetie's behalf.
Rivah TV. What's up, guys? It's your girl Rivah, and I'm back again with another video. So if you guys are unaware, rapper Saweetie, okay, who you might know for her song Tap In,
diamonds dancing on your neck, tap in, tap 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 in,
or her other song that was very popular called My Type.
That's my type.
She has recently been accused by her ex-road manager of being a quote-unquote yacht girl, okay? And from my interpretation of what a yacht girl is, the only thing that it seems like to me is selling yourself, okay? That's the only thing that I get the interpretation based off of all the text messages that came out that the ex-road manager had posted, based off of the conversation that she exposed on social media. And there's a couple of other people who were on TikTok and also were deciding to break that down. So I brought that here so we can further the conversation. So I'm going to go ahead and press play, pause, play, then give you guys my thoughts, my feelings, and my opinion on this entire situation.
We have some more insight into the yachting industry, this time thanks to a disgruntled madame. A woman known as Maybach May on Instagram expressed her frustration with rapper Saweetie on her Instagram stories. She claimed that Saweetie owed her money for activities that she organised on Saweetie's behalf.
So that woman that we just saw on the screen is the alleged madam, okay? So she is the one who is in charge on getting Saweetie paid by these men, allegedly, okay? This is all alleged from the ex-road manager. And that she hooks them up with this man, and she gets a cut or a fee from whatever encounter that is created based off of her, putting Saweetie in these places with these men that are wealthy.
She posted a video of Saweetie in a car in what appears to be Lagos, Nigeria, with the caption, "Hey Saweetie, let me know how you want to play this. I'm either going to receive my money from you or I can start addressing some of them rumors." The rumor currently going around about Saweetie is that she hooked up with Cardi B's husband, Offset, while they were still together. She continued, "We spent almost a month in Africa. Should have known I wasn't going to let you play me out my money." Money for what? And what was Saweetie doing in Africa? Thankfully, Maybach May did not end her diatribe there. She shed some light on how Saweetie met her man or ex-man, English footballer Jadon Sancho. That's actually her in that picture. She said, "I ain't never told a lie. I sent you to Dubai because you never balled before. Took you to London, took you to Nigeria, only for you to play with my money. Pay up before I start mentioning some of the husbands you were playing with." So this lady was arranging for Saweetie to travel the world to get with people's husbands for cash. That's what she's saying. So we're not just making that up, and it's not a misogynistic conspiracy.
Now, before we even get into that, right? When all of this stuff hit social media, a lot of people had the ideology of like, why are we surprised? Why are we shocked? And the reason why I agree with that is because whenever you have these women at the forefront who are pushing this strong narrative of getting flown out and getting a Birkin and doing all these things, there's always a catch-22 with those situations, right? And I vividly remember a video that Saweetie had posted when she was with Quavo talking about like, oh, if you're with a man and he don't get you a Birkin, then you need to leave him.
If you're wasting your time, if you're not getting you a Birkin, if you're not paying for your bills, then throw that back to the streets, okay?
Now, she was obviously actively in a relationship with rapper Quavo at the time. But in my opinion, I always felt a little bit off about those situations because what are you telling average women to do? Can the average man buy a Birkin for a girlfriend? No, he cannot. Can an average man pay all of a girl's bills? No, he cannot. So it is, left to the interpretation of younger women to get the bag by any means necessary. Get a man to take care of you by any means necessary. So now that this is coming to the forefront that she is participating allegedly in said things, a lot of people are like, well, what else did you think she meant when she was preaching the narrative to other women?
Right? I do have multiple deep dives on the celebrity yachting industry in my bio. Check them out if you're interested. Maybach May wasn't done. Said she booked Saweetie to support the Chelsea soccer team, but she fell in love with the client and told him i.e. Jaden, not to pay her. She even provided text message receipts. Saweetie said, when girls run it up on Jaden, how much they doing in a weekend? Apparently, Jaden is known as a generous king in these circles. Remember, he was flying Karuchi here, there, and everywhere for a minute. She even addresses Jaden directly, saying, Sancho, after you done paying and getting tattoos of a you barely know, remember, Jaden got Saweetie's middle name tattooed? Run me my money. I just want what you'll owe me. Interesting. Thank you, Maybach May, for the tea on this. I actually believe this is very common in LA. I've heard it's not really frowned upon, but it's not necessarily talked about publicly like this lady did, so we're grateful.
Female rap artist
So before we get into the next breakdown of the situation, I want to talk about that, right? These are things that are allegedly known, right? Like this isn't like a secret kind of thing that's going on. You know, people are even talking and webbing it between like the likes of like a Lori Harvey and certain people, and that there's key players in this situation, that these girls are, you know, high profile yacht girls, and that they go around whatever to the highest bidder, and everybody is in it for the situation, and everybody's happy or walking away happy because she's getting what she wants financially and he's getting the experience, right? And so again, it's so funny because I remember also that Kevin Samuels posted, you know, he was doing his live streams as he always did, and he was talking about Saweetie. And he talked about her looks, and he said that she was a 6. And he also mentioned the fact that, you know, a woman of Saweetie's caliber would not get a man that is not a black man to be out here and buying her Birkins.
Tap, 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 tap in. I mean, she's cute. Heavily made up, you know, those long eyelashes, lots of makeup, but she's cute. But I'm going to just say it, in no stretch of the imagination. Could I imagine a woman along the lines of her looks being with a rich and successful man outside the black community? Talk about she need a Birkin bag. This shit only flies in our culture, to where you can have women who are 6s, adjustable 6s at best, thinking and talking and acting as if they are entitled to mad craziness.
Now, Kevin is always right, okay, and he's continuously proven to be right on a consistent basis, even now, okay? He's literally immortal at this point. And the reason why I think it was so important to mention that part that he mentioned is because he was clear at what he was stating. And what Saweetie is doing is proof that when it comes to actively getting into a relationship with a certain situation, or to have a man outside of, our culture to take her seriously and being in a relationship with her and spoil her in these ways, that the only way that she's clearly able to obtain certain things is by being set up, you know, allegedly from her ex-road manager in this way to the highest bidders. That is not the same thing as being in a relationship with somebody meets you guys fall in love, and then you just, get into this space that you don't have to beg for, ask for, or whatever. It is not a transactional relationship. Those are two very different things. And again, we have to talk about how this narrative has been pushed to younger women, younger girls, making them feel like the men that they are that they are dating with, or the younger guys that they are getting into a relationships with, are inadequate because they are unable to fund this exorbitant lifestyle that that men are willing to pay for. But I think it's necessary that there's never the conversation about how these women are going about getting these men to pay for it. And so it's putting younger women in harm's way. It's putting these younger women in very dangerous or precarious situations that they don't know what they're getting themselves into, based off of the propaganda of these are the things that I'm supposed to aspire to. And I see all these other people getting it, so I know that it is welcome to me. And if we have to do this, that, and the third just to be able to keep up with all the other girls who are doing that, then so be it.
Saweetie has recently been accused of being a yachter, doing paid and arranged relationships, losing clients because she's abusing substances, doing voodoo. I see a lot of people, 1, asking what yachting is, and 2, wanting this whole situation broken down, so I'm going to break it down for you. Now, Saweetie's accused of being a yachter. A yachter is somebody that gets on boats and they abuse maritime law. There's a thin line of do's and don'ts in the ocean, and sometimes they use that thin line to buy and sell cash. Now, some people go to Dubai and they get on. Some people go to the Philippines and drink piss. Although Saweetie's just being accused and we don't know for sure if she's a yachter, one thing we can agree on is there's a lot of pictures of Saweetie on the yacht. It's almost like she lives her life on boats. A lot of people also found this picture of Saweetie with this casket ready makeup on and this very, very aged white man at this table. Now, he's a best-selling author. She's sitting there flexing with his book. Saweetie's a tap, 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 and he's a scribble right. If she bad, buy the Saweetie does live a very luxurious lifestyle, and I just can't believe that she's living this lifestyle from her music. Now, Maybach May, who's put these allegations on Saweetie, is accused of being a madame. A madame is a higher tier yacht or a higher tier escort, and they usually are in charge of divvying out the girls. A good example of an alleged madame is Natalie Nunn or Jocelyn Hernandez or any of that got a show on Zeus Network. They have countless allegations of going to Dubai for these lash parties, but you never see any lashes sold. Then they always come back talking about how they got the bag. Now, one of the things that seems Maybach May is accusing Saweetie of is not fulfilling the full agreement. What's the agreement, you may ask? I think Saweetie was supposed to meet up with the soccer player. I think they were supposed to do and call it a day. Now, Miss Madame is alleging that Saweetie told the soccer player not to pay the madame and just to pay her. Now, here's a video of Saweetie originally meeting the guy at the soccer game, and I think it is a little weird that she doesn't even look like she knows who he is. She doesn't even realize that he's coming over to see her until he gets there, and then she hugs him, and it's a little awkward. Now, she said this is a paid appearance, so what I think was supposed to happen is I think Saweetie was supposed to get paid to go visit this guy. Visit, if you know what I mean. I think when this man visited Saweetie, he fell in love, and she realized that, so she told this man, just pay me. You don't gotta pay her. Now, since Saweetie got the whole pay cut, maybe they have to act like they're in a relationship so it doesn't look weird, a big transfer of money. Because what famous sports player is not gonna give his girl hella money anyways? And they were gonna ice the madame out the deal. Now, a lot of people think this is far-fetched, but I found a couple of videos of Saweetie doing some side missions.
Now, before we get into side missions, you know, he broke this down perfectly, but also, I don't think that they would even have to pretend to be in a relationship. I think that if she is there with the highest bidder who's around her age, who is not like you know, like the author that she sat down with, and is not a sore sight for a sight for sore eyes, you know, and they have some kind of cool kind of collected situation, that being a transactional thing, I mean, I think it's easy for them to decide moving forward that, like, hey, like, I have no problem, you know, keeping at my end of the bargain. It's not hard for me. It's not hard for you. Why don't we just maintain this? And I think that they wanted to, or it seems as though maybe Saweetie wanted to cut the alleged madam or her ex-road manager out of the deal, maybe not only for the fact that, you know, he can spend that money on her, but also to say, like, okay, you didn't have to purchase me. Now I am, you know, actively in this with you. You're actively in this with me, and to change the dynamics of the relationship. Because when the manager posted on Instagram, she specifically said, you know, you fell in love with the client. As you can see here, this is allegedly the situation that happened. This is from the ex-road manager, and she says, I want to make one thing clear. I booked her for an appearance to visit the Chelsea Stadium and support the soccer team, as my last post shows. Instead of paying me, she fell in love with the client and told him not to pay me. I was a road manager with her, getting her deals. I was solid to this girl. She got what she wanted and never paid me. Simple, I want my money. So this is, you know, adding to what I'm saying. I don't believe that it was necessarily to cut her out the deal. I think it was some kind of attraction or something that the two of them actually ended up having. And she wanted to change the dynamic of, even though he is, you know, a baller, he's going to ball out on her and buy her things, but she wanted to change the dynamics of it just being work for her.
I mean, she's at the club overseas, she's throwing money, she's shaking that ass.
I want everybody to keep in mind that in all these videos, as you can see, that girl who's in the blue shirt pointing towards the camera, the same girl who was alleging all of these things on Instagram is with her in all of these different videos. Which goes into what the girl posted on social media again, and said, like, basically that she flew her all over the place. So here we can see the person, the ex-manager, she posted. It says, I'll tell a joke, but I ain't never tell a lie. I sent you to Dubai because you never balled before and was depressed looking for a happy life. Took you to London, babes. Took you to Nigeria. Booked you an Australian tour. I helped this girl so much, only for her to play with my money at the end. I'm just missing my money from London. Pay up, you know what, head. For I start naming the rest of the husbands that you was playing with. So obviously, you know, the woman that has said all these things, as we can see by the video, has these video track record, right? She has on video of her and Saweetie literally being in all these places that she named. And if you guys were moving so close, it would be hard to believe that this is just kind of like out of thin air. I don't know if you're, you know, a disgruntled ex-employee or whatever, but it's kind of all aligning to what she's saying, leading people to believe that a lot of these allegations are actually and factually true.
I'm gonna let me know what you guys think. Do you guys want me to cover some more yachting stories? And do you guys think that Saweetie's a yachter?
I don't know. I think it'd be hard to believe it's not true. To be honest with you guys, I don't have a dog in the fight. But, you know, again, what hurts me the most is that I always see these things, like, you know, they say story come to bump. I always see these things start to come to the forefront. And it's heartbreaking because, again, there's so many younger women, younger girls, girls her own age, women her own age, who are seeing these lifestyles and believing that that is the mark that they're supposed to be chasing, only to find out that you don't know what these women, even though they are the boss chicks and they're the boss babes and they have their own money, you don't know what they are doing or willing to do to obtain a certain lifestyle to impress everybody else. And again, putting other women in those spaces of thinking that that's the norm that they're supposed to be chasing and putting them in harm's way, despicable. Absolutely crazy. I'd like to know what you guys think about this in the comment section down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this entire situation. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. And I will see you guys in the next one. Love you.
Rivah TV.